and some of the other songs that we've done. But the original cover, we never made, was going to be the Challenger Exploder.
He doesn't ask for permission. He doesn't play by anyone's rules. Axl Rose simply opens his mouth, and raw power explodes. For over 3 decades, his voice has carried both rage and beauty in equal measure. There are controlled singers, polished voices, but nobody captures chaos and emotion like him. Nobody makes destruction sound so honest. He was the street kid who refused to compromise.
I never tried to sing the songs fully. You know, I'd sing a little bit of Shoot to Thrill, but you always knew it was a really tough song to sing.
The rebel who turned pain into platinum records. When the industry told him to soften up, he screamed louder. When they said, change your sound, he doubled down. When everyone thought Guns N' Roses was finished, he proved legends don't die easily. But hidden inside all that controversy, all those headlines, are songs that still define him. Tracks that remind him why he started this journey on the Sunset Strip. Why 5 misfits with guitars and attitude changed rock forever. Axl remembers which songs felt dangerous when everyone else played it safe. He's screamed thousands of lyrics, lived through countless battles, but only 5 Guns N' Roses tracks stay closest to his heart. These are the songs that turned a troubled kid from Indiana into the most unpredictable frontman in rock history. The voice of a generation has been chosen, and his picks tell the real story. 5. Rocket Queen. Some songs break rules. This one burned the rule book completely. Rocket Queen wasn't written to be radio-friendly or commercially safe. It was written because Axl had something raw to express.
Majority of the band was at that time, or too much alcohol, or too much something. Me, I was eating too much or whatever.
Something that polite society didn't want to hear. A 7-minute journey through love, lust, addiction, and redemption. The song that showed Guns N' Roses could be tender and savage in the same breath. The track starts gentle, almost sweet. Axl's voice is vulnerable and exposed. Then it explodes into pure chaos halfway through. Slash's guitar goes wild, the rhythm section pounds like a racing heart, and Axl screams like someone breaking free from chains. The transition isn't smooth, it's violent. Just like life on the streets they all came from. The controversy around the recording became legendary. Real sounds of intimacy captured on tape. No apologies given. Axl never backed down from that decision. We weren't trying to shock anyone, he said later. We were just being honest about what rock and roll really is. Raw, real, unfiltered. Live performances of Rocket Queen became unpredictable events. Some nights, Axl sang it tenderly. Other nights, he screamed it with fury. The band never knew which version would show up. That unpredictability made it special, made every performance feel like the first time. For Axl, Rocket Queen represents artistic freedom without apology. How the most controversial choices often create the most honest art. How real rock and roll doesn't ask permission, it just explodes and deals with consequences later. 4. Estranged. Pain doesn't always scream. Sometimes it just echoes forever. Estranged came from Axl's darkest period, when fame felt like drowning instead of flying. A 9-minute epic about isolation, mental breakdown, and trying to find yourself when the whole world thinks they own you.
I'm actually going to be recording some stuff here to finish it up.
In Wisconsin?
Recording on the road, yeah.
Oh.
This wasn't stadium rock posturing. This was therapy set to music, bleeding out through speakers. The song built slowly, like gathering storm clouds. It started with gentle piano, Axl's voice barely above a whisper, talking about feeling trapped, feeling misunderstood, feeling like the person everyone sees isn't really you at all. Then the guitars came in, layering emotion on emotion, building towards something that felt both explosive and exhausted at the same time. Slash's solo didn't just accompany the song, it became its heart. Not his fastest work, not his flashiest, but maybe his most emotional. Every note bent with the weight of someone trying to express what words couldn't reach. The guitar cried, questioned, searched for answers that didn't exist. Axl said watching Slash records that Solo made him understand his own lyrics better. Recording Estranged took months because Axl kept rewriting, kept searching for the perfect way to express what he was feeling. The band was patient. Understanding this song meant more than just another track on an album. This was Axl processing years of trauma, fame, relationships destroyed, and identity lost somewhere between the kid from Indiana and the rock star everyone thought they knew. The music video cost over $4 million, the most expensive ever made at the time. Axl jumping off an oil tanker into the ocean, symbolic of drowning in his own life, swimming with dolphins, searching for peace. The imagery matched the song's emotional journey from despair to acceptance. Live performances were rare because the song demanded everything from Axl vocally and emotionally. When he did perform it, audiences witnessed something beyond entertainment. A man confronting his demons in real time. 9 minutes of complete emotional exposure. 3. November Rain. Some songs aim for radio. This one aimed for eternity. November Rain was Axl's symphony, his proof that Guns N' Roses could be more than just leather jackets and attitude. An 8-minute ballad with full orchestra, rain metaphors, and enough emotion to fill stadiums.
It's really awesome. My mama said "Knock You Out" is an amazing song. I think I got an LL Cool J poster somewhere here on the tour.
The song that made skeptics realize Axl Rose wasn't just a screamer. He was a songwriter who understood heartbreak in ways that poets spend lifetimes trying to capture. The song came from a broken relationship, but it became bigger than that. It was about timing, about love that's real but still fails, about watching something beautiful die slowly, knowing you can't save it. The rain wasn't just weather, it was tears. Nobody wanted to cry in public. Axl poured years of romantic failure into these lyrics, every failed connection, every moment of intimacy that couldn't last. The piano opening became iconic immediately. Gentle, melancholic, inviting you into sadness before you even knew why you were sad. Then Axl's voice entered, vulnerable in ways he rarely allowed himself to be. No screaming, no aggression, just honest pain wrapped in melody. The build-up took its time, letting emotions breathe, letting the story unfold naturally instead of rushing to the big moment. Slash's guitar solo in the rain, filmed in the music video, became one of rock's most memorable images. Playing on a piano in the middle of nowhere while rain poured down. The solo itself was perfect, balancing technical skill with raw emotion. Every note felt necessary, nothing wasted, nothing there just to show off. Just pure musical storytelling. Recording required bringing in full orchestras, something most rock bands never attempted. Axl was obsessed with getting it perfect, spending months on arrangements. The band supported his vision even when it seemed excessive because they could hear what he was building. This wasn't just another power ballad. This was Guns N' Roses growing up without losing their edge. The music video told a complete story, a wedding gone wrong, relationships collapsing under pressure. It became an MTV staple, the video that defined the early 90s excess and ambition. Over 1 billion views on YouTube decades later because the emotion never ages. Every generation discovers November Rain and understands that some feelings never change. 2. Paradise City. Some songs captured dreams. This one became a dream. Paradise City wasn't just about escaping small-town life. It was about believing in something better, even when reality kept crushing you. The anthem for every kid who felt trapped, who knew there had to be more than what they were born into.
As far as their music go, basically the music's like second fiddle to their other desires. Our music comes first.
Axl sang about grass being green and girls being pretty, describing a place that probably didn't exist, but needed to exist in his imagination. The song started slow and acoustic, almost gentle. Axl's voice was clear and hopeful, painting pictures of this perfect place where everything worked out. Then, halfway through, everything exploded. The tempo shifted, guitars attacked, drums pounded, and suddenly, the dream became a demand. "Take Me Down to the Paradise City" stopped being a request and became a battle cry. That shift in the middle represented every frustrated kid's transformation from hoping for better to fighting for better. Axl knew that feeling personally, growing up in Indiana wanting desperately to escape. Paradise City was Los Angeles in his mind, but really it was anywhere that wasn't where he started. The song gave voice to universal frustration wrapped in infectious energy. Recording the gang vocals at the end became legendary. The whole band, plus friends, screaming together, creating this massive wall of voices demanding paradise. It sounded like revolution, like a generation refusing to accept limitations. Axl pushed everyone to scream harder, louder, until their throats hurt. That raw edge made it real instead of polished. Live performances always closed the show because nothing could follow it. The song built and built until the entire stadium was singing along, demanding their own paradise cities. Axl fed off that energy, sometimes extending the ending for 10 minutes of pure chaos. The band just kept playing while he ran across the stage, climbed speakers, and lived inside the song completely. The music video showed the band's journey from small clubs to massive stadiums, the dream becoming reality. But Axl never forgot that the song came from hunger, from desperation to be something more. For Axl, Paradise City represents the power of refusing to accept your circumstances. How dreams fuel survival when nothing else can. 1. Sweet Child O' Mine. Love doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it just happens in 4 notes. Sweet Child O' Mine started as a joke, Slash warming up with a guitar exercise he thought sounded silly. But Axl heard something different in those opening notes. He heard innocence, he heard hope, he heard the feeling of falling in love before life made you cynical. What became Guns N' Roses' biggest hit almost never happened because nobody took it seriously at first. Axl wrote the lyrics about Erin Everly, his girlfriend at the time, not in the poetic, metaphorical way he usually wrote, but directly, honestly. Her eyes, her smile, the way she made him feel safe in a world that felt dangerous. These weren't tough guy lyrics, they were vulnerable confessions. "She's got eyes of the bluest skies" wasn't trying to be clever. It was just true, just what he saw when he looked at her. The song became their crossover moment, the track that made people who hated hard rock stop and listen. Radio stations played it constantly. MTV put the video in heavy rotation. Suddenly, Guns N' Roses weren't just another Sunset Strip band. They were everywhere. But success didn't cheapen the song because the emotion stayed real no matter how many times they played it. Recording it happened quickly compared to their usual perfectionism. The band felt it working and didn't want to overthink it. Axl's vocals were mostly first takes, his voice carrying genuine sweetness that harder songs never allowed. This was him exposed. No armor, no attitude, just a man singing about someone who made the world better. Live performances evolved over the years. Early shows featured young Axl hitting impossible notes with ease. Later performances showed maturity, the screaming replaced with control, proving the song worked in any interpretation. Audiences sang every word regardless, making it their own love song too. For Axl, Sweet Child O' Mine represents the moment before everything got complicated. How the simplest emotions create the most powerful songs. How one person can inspire something that outlasts the relationship itself. This wasn't just his favorite Guns N' Roses song, it was the reminder that underneath all the chaos and controversy, he was just someone who wanted to love and be loved. For Axl, a song isn't real until it bleeds. These 5 represent his journey: honesty, survival, ambition, dreams, and love. The voice that refused to be tamed. Which Guns N' Roses moment defines your rebellion? Share below and subscribe for more rock legends revealing their truth.